Let's get that name.
Discharged into space, changing the life of one hapless duck and transforming him into a hero called Wonderduck.
What's up, George? What's going on in the House of Craze tonight?
In the House of Craze tonight, we have the incomparable Daphne Lage, and she's going to be talking to us about her Kickstarter, which is live right now. Eagle Raven issue number 4. Make sure you pledge to it. She's coming up next.
You can't even spell incomparable. Let's get it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Catch the Craze Podcast. I'm your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera, and I am with
George, the Dreamer Medina. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of Catch the Craze. We are live tonight with Daphne Lage. She's got a campaign going on right now on Kickstarter. It's for Eagle Raven issue number 4. Good evening, Glenn. Thank you for joining us. INCOMPARABLE. Incomparable. Bro, I had to write it down and then I checked it.
He Googled it. He went to Google.
Nah, B. Anyway, welcome everyone. Thank you for showing up to tonight's episode. We're having a good time. We are chilling. Sammy survived the tornado last night.
Yes.
And
that was ridiculous.
That was scary. We
Yes.
have news on what we're doing on our end. So, but tell us a little bit about that scare last night. Sam, what the hell happened last night?
Oh, good Lord. Yes. So I lived on the East Coast and my whole life. I come over to Texas. What's up, Will?
What's up, bro?
Not to post my thing.
Oh, Glenn's got a campaign.
Look at that.
Yo, Nita, what up?
Yes.
Bring
So
up my girl.
bring up my girl. You know how we do. Stop acting up. So you know, I've been here 7 months and already had 2 tornado scares. That's 2 more than I had in my entire lifetime on the East Coast. And I was in here drawing on my Cintiq, and all you hear is sirens. It sounds like war sirens. It's like it's going off, it's going ballistic. And I'm like, what the hell? Then the phones start going off, families calling, get to the safe place. I go put on the news, they're saying, get to your safe space. This tornado ripped through a town, 2 towns over from me. High school tore up, houses tore up. So I'm watching the news. My wife's panicking. This is the first one she's going through because the first one I was by myself with the dogs. She wasn't here. So she's panicking and she's hyperventilating. The dogs are going back and forth because the lightning and the thunder and everything's going crazy. And I'm just glued to the set. I'm watching the pattern, because I know that from the first one that the tornadoes, they turn. Sometimes they might veer somewhere else. So I'm watching it. She goes, we need to get to the safe space. I said, go to the safe space. I need to watch the news. And Then it right before it's getting towards our county, it shifted gears.
Oof.
And it went from tornado watch to violent thunderstorms. And I'm on a hill, and I still got water seeping in through my bedroom door, and I'm on a hill. That's how much water came down.
Yeah,
And so, like I was like, we dodged that bullet. I feel for the families that were affected. But they said this is just the beginning. Spring season in Texas is tornado season. And so they say expect more, and it just comes out of nowhere, just lands and then just starts acting up. So I'm like, whew. So I got here, I had coyotes, I had bobcats, I got hawks, trying to get my chihuahuas. I'm like, I was like, they're like, you need to get yourself a gun. I'm like, I was like, good Lord. I grew up in the hood. I didn't look over my shoulder more than I do here.
Nita had 2 today.
Dude, that's crazy too.
Yo,
That's just nuts. Yeah,
nuts,
that was what that was. But
Damn.
yeah, thank goodness. I thought we was war. When I heard the sirens, I thought, oh, it's on. We got World War III just started. I thought that was happening. I was expecting like trucks to come up and give us rifles and said, you're gonna have to protect your country. And that's what I thought was gonna happen. I was like, what's going on here? It's horrible.
Crazy, bro. Crazy. I'm telling you, you go to Texas, all of a sudden you got hailstorms, you got tornadoes, you got all kinds of stuff.
It's like golf. It's like a billion golf balls hitting your house.
I seen that's nuts. Bananas. Jesus. But wow, anyway. So but Sammy, talk to us about your what you're doing with duty. What's going on with duty? What you got?
The proofs were approved.
Because listen, a lot of people are waiting for Daphne, so we got to get through this stuff. Because Daphne, they're waiting for her, so we got to get through this.
The proofs are approved. Look at all the proofs. Bang, bang, bang. And so they will be delivered Saturday. I got the confirmation. It's en route. I will have them here Saturday. That means, that could be anytime Saturday. That means all day Sunday and potentially Monday. I'll be packing and getting everything ready. So, it's crazy is that I said that everyone will be getting it in April. So I'll be shipping it out in March.
Right.
Fire. Take that.
Don't jinx it. Hey, easy. Bring it down.
What's going to happen is they're going to come and pick it up. And then there's going to be a tornado. It's going to wipe that truck away.
Yeah. Let's take it easy. Wait till Sam, welcome to the apocalyptic wasteland that is Texas.
I know. It is nuts.
Yeah. Don't get ahead of yourself.
And we just had to listen to Barry White narrate Quack McDougal.
Quack. So, I love that, yo. I don't know what it is I love about it, but
all I know is that I hear the Quack Quack song. I feel like lighting up and putting on some strobe lights, and then I hear
mellow.
I'm like, it sounds like Shaq. It's
Barry,
like
bro.
Shaq is narrating the Wonderduck.
Barry, bro. Listen, I know Shaq. That's my boy.
Is that what it is?
That's my boy, bro. But anyway, for those who don't know, my book and DVD about visits to Jack. Oh yeah, you know what? Big shout out to Glenn. I saw the interview that you had with JD Calderon about that book, and that looks like a very interesting book about Jack Kirby. So yeah, he just posted a link on I think it's on Facebook, right? So yeah, check that out. But yeah, no. So if you've already signed up to the Adventures of Wonderduck, the pre-launch page, we're gonna be talking about pre-launch pages with Daphne, because I think it's interesting with the pre-launches. But if you signed up to the pre-launch page, please let me know you have, because I want to send you a PDF of this bad boy right here. It's an 8x10 PDF, okay, that's going to be emailed to you. So I'm going to need your email address to send it out to you. If on the day of that campaign, or while the campaign is live, you decide to pledge to the campaign, physical backers only, we'll then get a physical copy of this bad boy. It is cardboard stock, nice print here. You guys will get this, an 8x10 print. I have actually framed mine because I decided to keep one. So I framed mine. They look nice framed. So make sure you let me know. Let me know that you guys have signed up. And send me your email address so I can send you this stuff, and you guys can have it as a thank you for signing up to the pre-launch page. Now, listen, this print is not going to be available on the campaign at all. So it's not going to be available to anybody other than the people who signed up for the pre-launch. Don't whisper in my ear, Sam. Bring yourself back in here, boy. So yes. So thank you guys for signing up and being part of this campaign. I'm excited. I can't wait. May the 4th be with you. Wednesday, this is why you're hiding behind the screen. You're over here munching.
Munchiando.
Yeah, so May 4th at 8:30 p.m. Make sure we're gonna start the show at 8 p.m. like we normally do on Wednesdays. But at 8:30, I'm hitting the button. And there's gonna be a lot of festivities before that. I'll give you more information.
Georgia has a Wonderduck dance for you guys.
Oh, really? Yeah, we've talked about that. What are you laughing? Sam, you got to choreograph it. I already told you. You need to choreograph. What the fuck? What? No,
I'm gonna bust out my NKOTB moves.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap.
Well, yes, that's what's going on, guys. So thank you again for all of the support.
Yes,
we're going to be having a good time this summer. We're going to have a lot of stuff going on. Big shout out to Comic Books for Kids because we're working on something with them that I'll have more news for you guys on pertaining to the campaign. So I think it's a great cause. I really want to get Sam actually sent some books out to them, or is sending books out to them.
They will be getting the books,
they will be getting some books out. So that is also something we're working on. But without further ado, Sam.
Without further ado, this episode of Cats and Craze was brought to you by also our guest. So let's show the promo. Roll the tape.
Eager Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, issue 4 is now on Kickstarter. Eager Raven, a half-unicorn, half-human princess, finds herself the unwitting pawn of a headstrong noblewoman trying to avoid an arranged marriage. But she finds a silver lining as she competes to become a knight. But her travels reveal many hardships and a growing obsession. Please check out all of the different levels, and this is also your last chance to collect my popular variant covers. So head on over to Kickstarter to make your pledge today.
Word, welcome, Daphne.
Hello.
Hello.
For some reason, I was about to say good morning. I don't know how to tell time anymore. Better to be incomparable than incomprehensible.
There you go. That one I can't spell. That one I can't help you with. That one I'm gonna have to Google. But welcome back.
Hello.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you for coming on.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Indeed,
and it's like, yeah. So it's like, so Sam, are you gonna come back to New York or what?
Yo, I love everything about Texas except for the weather because it's unpredictable. So I get up in the morning, like I have this sweater on, but I have slippers and shorts below. So I'm not sure if it's gonna be hot or cold, rainy or sunny.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's terrible. How you doing, Daphne? How are things? I know you're always busy.
I'm tired. It's like been nonstop. It feels like. Yeah, it's like.
Listen, we have so much to talk about tonight because you've been doing so many things.
Oh.
You have the campaign, obviously.
Yeah.
You're like 100 books deep, and I
wish.
You got about 8,000 pages of all the other books that you've done. Like, you're on a podcast tour right now.
Yeah,
You have the show that you're doing on Mondays and Fridays with Nita, and then you have your own stuff. So there's so much stuff to dive into. But before we do that, Daph, just tell the audience, for people who don't know who you are, who maybe have stumbled upon the show for the first time today, and don't know who Daphne Lage is, give us a quick brief.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I am a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, so I kind of sort of know what I'm talking about. And I am known for my funny animal fantasy adventure Tall Tales, but right now I'm especially known for my my other fantasy book currently on Kickstarter, and the parrot, of course, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn. I am also, as you said, co-host with Nita Lanning on the Raging 2 network, and you can also read both my comics online in the meantime at Tall Tales Online, TILS online, and eagleworks.com, EGOWORKS.
Nice. Awesome. And for those who don't know, the campaign is live right now.
Yeah.
It ends on April 13th at 4:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, so there's plenty of time to pledge to this bad boy. You're doing amazing, Dad. 105 backers, over
Right.
$3,500.
Yeah,
It's
we have
incredible.
exactly 3 weeks to go to
Hmm.
finish it, and it's
Hmm.
like I'm like going, oh, this has been the longest week so far.
Jesus.
I mean, I think I've done I've lost count of how many campaigns I've done, maybe like 20 something compared to, when you
Oh,
combine it with my stuff, with JD stuff, with the Oswald Chronicles
yeah,
and Tall Tales,
yeah.
and each time I do one, it's like doing one for the first time, because
Yeah.
it's like all you think you know, and then it's all new stuff you learn.
Well, that's what I was going to
Yeah,
tell you. Like, it
yeah,
just seems like it's an ever changing and ever something's always different. What are
yeah,
some of the things that you've learned, like even from the last campaign? Like, what did
right.
you learn from the last campaign to this campaign?
Well, this is the first campaign that I had like the longest pre-launch
Mm.
page.
How long was it?
It was probably I started running it in January,
Okay. Okay.
and I ended up with 136 people signing up,
Yeah. Nice.
and yeah, and the thing, yeah, so I'm not sure like how it translates,
I
because it's
know.
like right?
I
They don't
know.
really give you that information.
No.
Um, but the logic behind it. Oh yeah, and like I said, the parrot is behind me. So if you hear any weird noises, that's a parrot back there. Um, so yeah, they don't give you that information to do anything with. So all I know is that supposedly you do the pre-launch page to build up, I guess, like excitement for your
Sure.
campaign,
Hmm.
because the first 48 hours of a campaign is like it's most important,
Hmm.
because the faster you fund in that 48 hours, the more the algorithm benefits you
Right.
on Kickstarter, and it starts like kicking your campaign out all over the platform.
Right. Right. Right.
So this was the first campaign I funded in 15 minutes.
Damn.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Nita said actually it was 14 minutes and 59 seconds.
Yo, that's amazing. And
Yeah.
you know what's crazy? So like, and we were talking about this with Sam about the pre-launch page, right?
Hmm.
Because that is the logic behind it. You
Right.
you get you that you put it out there, people start signing up, and then when it launches, you're hoping that those
Right.
139 people get the email and boom, they're on your
Right.
page.
Right.
It might have worked that way with you. I don't know. We don't know
Right.
because we don't know who signed up. So you don't know
Well,
who converted. Well,
right.
they tell you who converts, right?
Right. Well, they tell you how many people convert, which by the way, it's like, the way the math works, you're not going to get the full amount that
No.
sign up
Right.
to convert.
Right.
Usually the conversion rate, if you get 20%, that's considered excellent.
Right.
It's the same thing like when you're talking about your mailing list and whatnot, the engagement. If you get 20%, you're doing
Right.
incredible.
Gangbusters. Yeah.
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 So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's like, it's like, yeah, it's like, so you get like 100 people to sign up, and if you're really lucky, 20 will convert, and that's supposed to
Well,
be
that was the
good.
part I was talking to
Yeah.
George, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
what we found interesting is that
Yeah.
they were still signing up
Hmm.
when the campaign was live,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So there was still people hitting the follow,
Uh-huh.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so, but there was like 111 people that were
Right.
potentials that
Yeah.
did not convert.
Right.
There was I had a 33% conversion rate,
Uh-huh.
but there was 111 people still left behind.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like the way Kickstarter does it, it doesn't allow you to really incentivize those people
No.
to pledge.
Yeah.
That's the difference with Indiegogo, is that they give you that information so you can do stuff. Although, George, I think what you're doing on your campaign is pretty clever, getting people to send you, doing an incentive anyway, and getting people, but it takes the extra step where people have to send you their email.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think the idea behind that, and mind you, this I have to credit JD for this, is that people who are willing to go the extra step of of actually sending you an email for a print means that there's a very high chance that they're going to back your campaign.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, because they're taking that extra step.
Yeah.
So
well, it's like you have to try everything at this point.
Yeah,
'cause
exactly.
You don't know. You really don't know.
You don't.
The funny thing with JD, and for those who don't know, JD Calderon is it's actually your husband.
Yeah.
Who also has a campaign right now. But it's funny because he had a pre-launch campaign, and I know I've heard the interviews where he like hates the idea of a pre-launch.
Yeah, he does. He really does.
He hates it. He only had like what 26 or 27.
Well,
right?
It's like
But he's got like 48, 49, almost 50 people that have already pledged to the campaign. So it's like...
Right. Well, see, but that's why he thinks that for him,
right.
pre-launch is useless.
It's useless. Right, exactly. That's my point.
He says that he has his really, really dedicated followers that are going to pledge anyway.
Correct.
And he goes, for the amount of time that it took him to promote a pre-launch page, he goes, why not just do a 60-day campaign? It's like, at least if at least you're spending your time actually making money.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But the thought, no, I am not doing a 60-day campaign. No, absolutely not.
Listen, I will never say pre-launch page. Yeah. I mean, listen, I guess it's whatever works for whoever's, and we're all learning. I mean, listen, we're indies, we're all learning. Mm-hmm. We just got to be willing to learn and willing to put in the work to get
absolutely. The work is real.
That's all it is. Yep.
Yeah, that there is nothing about what we do that does itself. Yeah. It's like the grind is real.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what a lot of people underestimate. And like I said, I've done like 20 something of these, and it doesn't get any easier.
But what I love, Daphne, and I'm sorry to cut you up, is this is your fourth campaign for this particular book. This is issue 4.
Yeah.
And it seems like your fan base is growing.
Yes.
Are you getting different? Are you seeing that you're getting different?
It's interesting to look at the pattern, because to give you some perspective, on my issue 1, it took me pretty much all of the 30 days to make the same money that on this issue I made in 15 minutes.
That's amazing.
So whatever I'm doing is obviously working.
Yeah.
But it takes, like, the more issues you put out, it builds up from there. So it's like, so from issue 1 I saw, and then from issue 2 I saw a drop from issue 1.
Really?
Because there's a lot of people who just collect issue 1s.
That is true.
So it's like whoever I got on the first campaign, I got like, maybe I think it's like I had like 20 or 30 people less in the second campaign. I don't have the numbers in front of me, so I'm kind of pulling this out of my head, as best as I can. But when the third issue came out, I was there, it started arcing upward again. And I not only made up all the people that I lost in the second campaign, I gained more.
Right.
So by that, so first issue, second issue, and then third issue. And on the third issue, what I found interesting was that I was getting a lot of new people. Like, my number 1 seller on that campaign was the catch-up level.
Wow.
So probably the people from the first book who missed the second campaign were catching up on the third campaign. And not only that, I was seeing a lot of new names too. So people were finding my campaign for the first time and liking it so much, they're going, I'm getting all the issues in one shot.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what I'm noticing from issue 3 and this campaign is that now my biggest seller on this campaign is just the issue 4, which means everybody who caught up on the issue 3 campaign are now just continuing regularly on the issue 4.
Wow.
So that means that people are reading my stuff and enjoying it.
That's awesome. That is
so
awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's still, like getting the campaigns to push further, because it's like on my last campaign on issue 3, I made 5,000. Now I made 5,000. I barely squeaked under, barely squeaked past it. So my personal goal on this campaign is to see if I can make it to 6.
Okay.
So I like to give myself like small small goals. So it's like my book's funded. So, but I like to give myself goals so that it kind of forces me to push the campaign in hopefully forward.
Yeah.
Because it's like, because you don't want to just fund, that's the thing.
That's
it's like
true.
you want to, I mean, I do everything myself, so I can afford to have a lower goal. So the book's getting printed, but I want to see how far I can take it. So
Yeah.
so in this campaign, my personal goal is to hit 6. So I'm already over halfway,
Yeah.
but it's like now it's like the numbers are just creeping instead
know.
of jumping.
I know.
So I'm like, I'm gonna be creeping under that 6 again, and I'm gonna be making 6,001.
Yeah. But you know what it is with like making more money than what you've actually asked
Right.
for, and the whole concept behind that is, I mean, listen, some people, but when the campaign ends, some people sometimes drop off. They,
Right.
their cards don't go through or whatever issues happen, right?
Yeah.
Kickstarter gets a percentage
Yeah.
of it, so you don't end up with whatever dollar amount you actually have.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so it's always nice to have like a cushion, like in
Yeah.
case
Oh
some
yeah.
stuff
Absolutely.
happens,
Yeah.
at least, and that's why you're asking for more money. So,
Yeah.
but and it's not like you're not getting anything for it. I mean, I'm sure
Right.
you have stretch goals and
Oh
stuff
no,
like that.
absolutely. In fact, it's like this is the first campaign too where I'm experimenting. Well, for the 6,000, like right now, the first 2 stretch goals have been unlocked. I have 2 more stretch goals after that, but the big stretch goal that I have to hopefully hit that 6,000 is 8 extra pages in the comic. So I'll be putting in a brand new short story that in issue 4, so it brings up the page count to 40.
Right.
40 pages.
Right.
So so it's like, because I've been it's like Dojo had mentioned, it's like
Yes.
trying to build that cushion for the next issue, and
Yes.
it's like look, I'm kind of working beyond that. I'm trying to build that cushion for next year's campaigns.
Well, but and now hey, what's up, Grant? But
Hey.
now when you add the extra 8 pages and now you're
Yeah.
printing a 40-page book,
Yeah.
the price,
Well,
the cost
right.
of printing also increases.
Well,
at that
yeah, of
point,
course.
so
That's why it has to. Right. That's why
Exactly.
I save that as
Yes.
the big one.
Smart,
You
smart.
want to see, and also the thing is too, is that
That's true, Dojo.
is that this is the so if when whichever one, I don't want to jinx myself, if we get to the 6,000 and add those 8 pages, those 8 pages are only going to be for whatever I print for this campaign. So if some reason I have to reprint this issue 4, which I'm trying not to, because the next campaign after this is the trade, and I'd rather people collect the trade. I'm not going to be, that story's not going to be in there. So if you want to see this story, you have to support this campaign.
Gotcha.
So trying to make it kind of like a little exclusive
awesome.
for it.
So
Yeah.
you brought up something that's very interesting. The lull, right?
Yeah.
So you've been doing this is what, your 22nd campaign.
Yes, it's yeah.
Right. So what is your strategy during those moments, those slow periods? Because they can last a couple of days to a
Right.
week. It all
Yeah.
depends, right?
Right. Yeah.
So how are you trying to be,
Right.
get ahead of that?
Well, for this campaign, I'm doing 2 things that fall in the middle of my campaign. I have 2 crossovers with 2 other that's going to happen with 2 other campaigns. So I'm going to have, JD has the Oswald Chronicles, which is live now. So in about a week, which is the middle of my campaign, we're announcing a joint project to
Nice.
his campaign. So you would have to support both our campaigns to get this special thing, which I'm not going to announce yet. And I have another crossover coming up too. This one, you're actually seeing a little preview of it back there. I'm still working on the piece. It's a crossover print with Nightwolf, with Robert Multari's Nightwolf. His campaign starts at the end of the month, so I have a crossover with him. And those crossovers happen in my lull period, or it's supposed to be my lull period.
Gotcha.
So the hope is that these 2, I guess, like crossover projects will kind of revitalize mine, because you have to support both our campaigns to get the special items.
Right.
So, I mean, that's kind of like, so I'll tell you if it works. Right? It's like,
Yeah, no.
yeah.
I mean, we'll see. What is this?
Uh-huh.
It says playing with a screen.
Right.
Itchy fingers.
It's
No,
the reminder. It's the
Yeah,
reminder.
it's just a reminder.
Just a
Yeah,
little
it's like,
reminder.
no, we have to do that too, you
Don't
know?
get screwed.
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah,
that's
so
great.
that's pretty fantastic. So, and this is your first, so this is where you get to experiment, right?
Right,
You do
yeah.
this kind of
See,
strategy.
every campaign has an experiment.
That's
in
right.
it. That's the
Yeah.
thing. It's like it's always something like this was also the campaign that I experimented with, like 48-hour specials, you know, or
Yeah.
it's like and so it's like you get like a discount on something, you know, if you pledge within the first 48 hours, and then
Right.
it goes back to its regular price. You know, I usually have the the first 40 backers get like a special sticker set or something, and you know, it's like just anything to try to get people. Yeah, it's like either you have to get them in the first 48 hours, and then you have to catch them again in the middle of the campaign to
Right.
kind of like make up for that lull.
Yeah.
Because that lull happens no matter what.
It
You can
does.
have a 5-day campaign, and you're going to have a plateau on day 3.
Right. Yeah, it's so true. It's
Yeah.
so true. It's inevitable. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
And you just have to be able to kind of like, navigate through it.
Yeah. Mhm.
And every campaign just gives you that,
Right.
something else to be able to navigate.
Uh-huh.
But Sam, why don't we share? Do you have her campaign up so we can just take a look at it and go
Um,
through it, or not?
Chrome upgraded, so I would have
Oh.
to shut this down to let it up. So if you want to share your screen,
Oh
I can.
yeah,
put it up.
I can do that. I can do that.
I tried 3 times, but I would have to restart StreamYard. I don't want to do that in the
Oh
middle
no,
of the
no,
show.
absolutely not. Yeah. There we go. So, let's see. Here we go. Ah, there we go.
There it is.
Yeah. So so this is so this is the
Look at that.
4th issue. Yeah. So, yeah, and also just for Dojo Kun mentioned the whole thing about that buffer. It's like I just finished issue 7, the pencils for issue 7. So for anybody who's seeing this campaign for the first time and doesn't think that it's going to go past issue 4 for some reason, no. There's an issue 6. There's an issue 7, issue 5. It's a 15. This is a 15 issue series, and when I say that I'm getting ready for next year, I'm not kidding. I have all the campaigns. Jose hates JD hates it when I do this. He says it's like, you're just driving myself. I'm just driving myself crazy. I have all of my campaigns for all of these issues scheduled for 2025.
Wow.
Beast mode.
Wow.
Yeah. Because
you need that, but Daph, you need that, and I'm glad you do that.
I
because
absolutely
you definitely
do.
need it,
Yeah.
man. I mean, at least I know I would. Like, I would totally need that. Someone who's very good at sparking interest during those
Right, yeah.
Justin Murphy. Interesting.
Yeah, so these are the sample pages from the 4th issue, which I know that you guys got to read already because you got the trade paperback proofs.
Yeah, that was a nice surprise. That really was. Now, Daph, before we even go further into the campaign, I mean, these pages are beautiful, but there's a very funny. I mean, the way you created this character. For those who don't know about Eagle Raven, tell us a little bit about the background. When was this created, and where did it originally originate? Because it was on your website.
Right. So Eagle Raven originally started off as a mascot from my portfolio website, which I still have, by the way. That's eagleworks.com. I remember setting up the website all the way back when I was at SVA years ago. So she started off as just a mascot. She was just supposed to be a pinup and whatnot and just represent the website. And then just one day I just asked, "Who are you?" And it just started this whole train of thought from there. And then it's like it hooked up. It kind of like dovetailed with some old She-Ra fanfic that I did, and ElfQuest fandom, and it's like just a whole lot of things dovetailed at that question. And then it's like it just started building into this story that I was just updating whenever I felt like it. This was my hobby comic, pretty much. I was doing Tall Tales seriously, and that was my job, and Eagle Raven was my hobby. So that I was just updating, whenever I felt like it, and then before I knew it, I had 5 issues.
Damn.
Oh.
And then it's like we the pandemic hit. We went on lockdown, and I was like, wait, what am I going to do with all this free time? And that's when I finally realized, it's like, you know what? Let's do let's get off the pot with Eagle Raven and actually do it.
Right.
So I took like a crash course in coloring, digital coloring for comics and lettering for comics or whatnot. And I just started working on it. And what I was also doing was like the artwork you're seeing here is kind of like, it's from back in I think 2015 or something. Like this is not my most recent artwork, but what I was doing was that I was going in and I was kind of remastering the artwork. I didn't want to redo the books, because I wanted to respect the artist that I was back then. So what I just did was I just went through the pages, I retooled some of the panels, fixed some things, and then I changed, when I was lettering, I changed the dialogue, and of course I colored it, which honestly turns it in a completely different book. I mean, I'm so used to seeing everything in black and white, and putting it in color, it was just like, wow, this is this literally is a completely different book. And then in, I think January 2021 was when I launched issue 1, and then it's just been that process ever since.
Yes, and I know when we spoke, I mean, we've spoken a few times, but you had pulled back on the detail you were trying to throw, before. You pulled back a little bit on that. When did you start? Is it where did you really stop adding all that stuff to your
actually I started doing that with Tall Tales. I was doing the trade paperback is the Thieves Quest story arc. So I was working on the latest story arc, which is Tears of the Mother. And I just went straight okay, I'm going to get rid of all those little doohickey lines that Will Eisner got all up my ass about. He hated those lines. He hated the Todd McFarlane influence from back in the day. So, it's yes, I got scolded by Will Eisner for those lines.
He was a teacher, wasn't he?
So, yeah, he was at SVA. Yeah. And so I completely went in the opposite direction, trying to find a middle ground between all the detail that I had to put in because we didn't have color. We couldn't. Back when we were printing that book, nobody, it's you couldn't afford, I mean, you guys finagled how to print color, but most people couldn't figure that out.
That's true.
So I went into all this hand-done patterns and line work and whatnot to make up for the fact that it wasn't in color.
Gotcha.
So now that everything was in color, it's I'm wasting my time because it's all in color now. Now it's so I started pulling back from it. I'm still trying to find a middle ground, but I'm at least feeling like I'm getting into, I found a style that works more with the coloring than what I used to do before.
Yeah.
But so
I speak because Aníbal Arroyo, you know him. He talks about how it's so hard to pull back.
It is.
Once you become that artist that likes to add all of that detail, it's kind of hard to pull back and say, wait, is that enough? That's not enough. You go back in there and try to add more. You're like, no, wait, you got to constantly stop yourself from doing that because it's time consuming.
Well, yeah, it really is. I mean, it's you know what? And it's and you got to figure too, most people are just going to look at your pages for 30 seconds.
True.
So it's you know what? Sure, if you can draw, if you know how to draw in all the shoelaces, okay, that's great. But you're only adding time that nobody's going to pay attention to.
Yeah.
In the end, it's they're going to be reading it, and moving on to the next page. Yes, you're going to have the obsessives who are going to say, wow, I can't believe you drew in all the shoelaces. And then it's when your wrist is all hurting and you need to wear a brace, you go, yeah, me too.
Yeah, it is funny because I'm looking at that piece right there with the unicorn,
Uh-huh.
and it looks like ostrich feet. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what that is, eagle feet, but I can see how much time it took you to do this because of all the shapes and curves and
Yeah.
line work,
Mhm.
and then to compound that with coloring it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's, when you think about the labor
Yeah.
behind it, and you're a one woman operation.
Yeah. Yeah. I do
it's a
pretty
lot of
much
time.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything except the flatting. I outsource. So that's the only thing I outsource. Is the flatting.
Cody, what's up?
Because
man?
there just came a point where I had to decide something had to give, or else I couldn't get the workout that I needed.
Right.
And mind you, the cover that you're seeing here, it's a very simple. I mean, that's actually a simplified style than what I usually do.
Yeah.
And and I put all of my effort in the coloring. I mean, like I said, I took a crash course online on color. I was like, before I even started page 1, I had color samples all around my office taped up, just trying to figure out which color combinations, like what color palette was going to work for me the best.
Yeah.
And so it's like so whatever I wasn't doing inking, I was ending up spending it on coloring, but at least now the coloring means something.
Yeah.
So yeah, people are definitely going to notice the color. So
Gotcha. And for those who are just joining us, we are here with Daphne Lage. We are going over her Kickstarter campaign that is right now on Kickstarter, Eagle Raven #4. You guys want to go on there and check it out. 4th issue. Are they catching up on you now, Daphne? Do you feel like you're on issue 7? Like, I know you were ahead.
Right.
You had 5 issues. Do you feel like it's getting, oh shoot, they're coming? Like
it's getting real. I'm actually
Yeah.
kind of having like anxiety moments because of this. Like I launched the campaign, and then all of a sudden I'm like getting all these nervous tics and whatnot.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's like, because my goal is to have everything, all the books for next year's campaigns, proofed before this year is done.
Wow.
So right now I have issue 6 and 7 penciled. I have 8 laid. I have thumbnails for issue 8 and half for issue 9. So I still have to finish issue 8. I still have to ink these things. I still have to get them flatted. I still have to
Color
so
them.
So the whole thing is that it's like I'm way ahead, but the trick is to keep myself from getting complacent, so that it doesn't turn all of a sudden it's October and I'm still working on these books. I literally want to get these books somewhat finished during the summer, so that I can start, like, I want proofs by December.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So it's like, so 2023, I don't, I could work on 2024 books.
Oh, and again, that's a great example of like that entrepreneurial spirit, but also understanding, how to grow your own business.
Yeah.
You're gonna live and die by your own sword.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's also breaking the stigma and the reputation that the independent community gets, where one trick pony, or 2 years between the next campaign.
For real.
Yeah.
There was an interview where I heard someone talk about how he didn't understand how is it that crowdfunding, like people always gave the excuse that, oh, we didn't have, our books come out we only do once a year because we don't have the money to keep putting out regularly, right? They put it on crowdfunding, they raise all this money, yet they're still only putting out once a year.
Yeah.
Like, how is it that you're still, like, crowdfunding can't make it any easier, and yet people are still not producing more work?
Right.
It's like, there shouldn't be 2 years between an issue.
Right.
That, so it's like, so I have two rules for myself. Everything has to be done before a campaign launches, and I have to be ahead of myself, so that I'm not worried. I mean, it's like, like I said, it's like I'm having anxiety tics now over, realizing that this is all catching up and it's real now. Because I haven't done new issues since 2017.
Right.
And issue 6 and issue 7, they were the first books. They're the first books that I've worked on since that time for Eagle Raven. Issue 8 is going to be the first Eagle Raven book I'm doing completely brand new. The layouts that I had, luckily I had the layouts done back from 2017. So I was able to get through those pages, rather quickly. But issue 8 is going to be the first one I'm technically doing from scratch, and that's a whole other set of anxiety.
Now the scripts are done though, right? That like
the script is done. The scripts are done. All 15 issues are done. And also in the middle of all this, I'm also working on all these short stories that the first one we're going to be seeing as a stretch goal in this campaign,
right?
But so on top of doing the books, I'm doing all these short stories, and I have like several of them in the fire right now. So it's like I have an 8-page story, I have a 16-page story, I have another 12-page story. So it's like, so on top of working on these issues, I have all these side stories too, because what these side stories are is that's what they are. They're stories that they don't fit in the main storyline, or else it'll just be too long and too cumbersome. But they're kind of like little side quest stories that they're lighter in tone. They're more cutesy. They're just simple little stories that add to the characters. Gotcha. That add a little bit more information to the world, more information to the characters, just so you get to know, them more. So, but they wouldn't make sense in the main story. I mean, it's like I'm working on a story now that it's like where Eagle Raven goes to the doctor for the first time. I mean, you don't need that story in the main 15 issues, but it's a cute side story. Because it's like the idea of a unicorn having to go to a doctor is absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
So
that's funny.
So it's like, so it's all these little, so it's like, it's just like, it's not just the books, but the scripts for all 15 issues are done. I know exactly where the story goes, aside from little tweaks here and there that I'm making as I go along, as new ideas pop up, and I go, oh, maybe this should work like this or this, but it's slight, not enough to change anything.
Do you have in this campaign? Do you have any sketch covers available for people who love your artwork?
always sketch covers. I have my usual variants, which I have like the Virgin cover, which doesn't have the trade dress on it, and then I have the silver foil one, which is. I mean, I love the silver foil because it really showcases my inks. Just because I'm everything is in color doesn't mean the inks don't mean anything. So this is a good way for me to show off the inks on the cover, and of course I always have my ever popular my hollow covers, which I have the hollow foil, which I have. I have my proof here. Like I said, I'm not kidding when I say my books are done.
They're done.
When it's like I have proofs for everything, for my campaigns. And I also have sets, levels where people can just pick up everything. And the thing also that I'm doing with this campaign, these are all the variants for all the previous issues, so issues 1 through 4. And here's the sketch covers. I always offer sketch covers. So this is what it looks like. So these are literally, so if you missed the previous campaigns, these are all the books that you can still catch up on on this. I know, it really is. I was kind of horrified when I put it together. So,
holy shit.
But also the thing about this campaign too is that this is the last campaign where you can get all these variants, even the regular issues. So if you want to collect issues 1 through 4 and the variants, this is the last campaign to do it, because the next campaign after this is the trade paperback, and I'm cleaning the slate.
That's it.
When I come out with the trade paperback. So this is the last chance to get all these versions of these books, including the individual issues. Even if you just want just the regular issues, I'm clearing the slate. You know, so, and these are some of the add-ons that I have. So these were the trading cards that I offered up on the last campaign as stretch goals. Now you can actually just pick up the trading cards, and you can add to them with the new stretch goals in this campaign. So yeah, and here's some of the specialty covers also that are also, this is the last chance that you have to pick them up. I only have very few of them. I have my metal bookmarks, which are always popular, and the
Daph, is there a limit to the sketch cards?
to the
I mean the sketch covers. I'm
the
sorry.
sketch covers.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I forgot to put a limit on this campaign.
Oops.
Oops. Yeah. So look, if you order a sketch cover, you will get a sketch cover. I mean, it's like,
what?
if I have to do 27 of them, like I did with an Oswald campaign, because JD forgot to put a limit on it, I'll do it for this one. You know, it's like, so yeah. So the sketch covers. You can order your sketch covers. I will do the sketch covers. Nice. Don't worry about it. And right, and it's like you can also try out, pick up sample copies of our other books too, of Tall Tales and of the Oswald Chronicles. So yeah, so these are the stretch goals. So we have the first 2 trading cards unlocked. And now we're on our way. We're less than $500 away from unlocking the last trading card in this campaign. That's awesome. And then after that, it's going to be this sticker that a lot of people on the previous campaigns were bothering me about, because I was using the image as just a decorative thing on the page. It wasn't supposed to mean anything, but so many people were asking me, is this a sticker? Is this a stretch goal sticker? What is this? I want this as a sticker. And I go, fine, you get it as a sticker. It's a sticker on this campaign. That's cool. So for $5,000, when we hit that, this sticker will be put in the in everyone's physical tier. Gotcha. And this is the story. So this is the short story that is the big one. So if we hit 6,000, which, like I said, breaks my previous campaign's goal, I'm going to add this 8-page story in the book. So so it's going to be the first time you're going to start seeing these short stories, because eventually I want to collect them all into its own trade paperback called Tales from the Outer Kingdoms. Okay. So this is technically the first story in that collection, except that this is going to be your only way to see it until that trade paperback comes out. And like I said, it's going to be limited to what I print for this campaign. Yeah. If for some reason I have to reprint issue 4, which is not my intention, because I want to clear, like I said, I want to clear the slate for the trade paperback, the story is not going to appear on any subsequent printings. So
Daphne, you're playing chess. This isn't checkers. Like you're looking at things ahead. Like you're putting all of these stories in like a separate book for later on. Yeah. I love it. I love
that. Yeah. If you go on my Facebook page, somewhere on my wall is a chart that I made for myself. Again, JD keeps complaining, why do I do this to myself? It's all the books that I am simultaneously working on in one form or another for this series. I think there's like 4, 5, 8. There's like 10 books on this thing, and it's like, this is why I have to put myself on a schedule, because it's if I don't have an actual timeline, I'm not going to make it.
What you're doing is almost like a vision board, right?
Yeah.
You know, and also is providing information to potential backers, future backers, current backers, so they can see that number one, there's a future of this series, that you're here for the long game, and so it entices them even more to want to get involved and support it. Right. And I think it's very smart what you're doing. Right. You know, I think what happens is, and George and I did a show on Don't Get Left Behind. You know, people who always stick to the status quo, they don't adapt to what's changing. I think what you're trying to do is get ahead of the curve. And that's a smart way to go.
Right.
Do you work traditionally, Daph?
Yeah, I work everything is pen and ink. From up to the inks is all hand done. which is
Okay.
why I have to keep special gloves next to my desk when my wrists start going, what are you doing?
What are
Yeah, I
you
had
Yeah,
doing?
yeah, exactly. So, but then everything after that, it like the color is
Digital.
obviously digital, the lettering is digital, of course, laying out everything for print is digital. But but the artwork, I always have physical artwork for everything.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Any chance you're gonna go digital on any of that stuff or no?
I'm trying. I'm still practicing that. It's I don't know. It's like I'm kind of not getting the hang of it. Um, and yeah, so it's a slow. It's a slow curve.
What,
I'm
what tools are you using?
well. I have a Cintiq, so I'm using I think it's like a 16 inch. Um, and it's just I don't know. It's kind of like lines always look thicker on the screen than they're printing out, so I haven't really figured out that I guess like that spatial relationship between what I see on the screen and what
Yeah.
I'm actually getting printed out.
Oh, it's probably
So-
because you have it super zoomed in.
well, yeah, that's the
That's
thing,
why.
but it's like, and I honestly, it's like if when I have to replace, eventually I have to replace the Cintiq because these things they wear out and whatnot. But I definitely now see the benefit of a larger screen because
Yeah.
I think that what's kind of not working for me is not working actual size.
Yeah, that's the reason why
Yeah.
I switched over and upgraded to the one I
Yeah.
have now because I had the same problem with the
Yeah.
smaller one. I
Yeah.
needed something bigger that
Yeah.
it feels like a draft table for me.
Right, exactly. So it's like I figure, on my next Cintiq, I'll get the larger one so that I can work actual size and get a better sense of line weight that I like to
Yes.
work with. So eventually.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
I
some-
understand because I love both.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
There are
too.
days where I love to George traditionally,
Right.
and I we talked about George and I talked about I recently invested in Clip Studio Paint,
Yeah.
and I absolutely love it, and I'm
Yeah.
faster
Yeah.
now illustrating on that than I
Uh-huh.
was. So I'm like, oh, okay, but I understand the benefits
Yeah.
of both.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Being able to do I guess the amount of work that I do is that I have to know my limitations. Because like right now to pencil and to ink, I'm faster doing it traditionally than on the Cintiq, so I'm not going to work with that. I decided I had to outsource my flatting because it was just it was taking up time I needed for other things to
Right.
get the books done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like some people have said, "Oh, why don't you outsource all the coloring?" It's like I haven't gotten to that yet.
Right.
It's like I'm still a little greedy with my own work. So, so I'd like to do as much myself as I can until I can't.
Right.
But well, until I can't and also can afford the people that I want
Right.
to
Right,
give
right.
me the look that I want. So
Well, you have a specific style
yeah,
of
yeah.
coloring that to find that person that's able to replicate that
Right.
look,
Yeah.
that'll take some time in itself.
Right. Yeah, because it's like if that's the type of thing that I would want to do on a new project, like for the 15 issues, because I'm like so ridiculously OCD. If I start changing coloring styles midstream,
Right.
it's going to be bugging me.
Right.
I'm the type that's like, oh, now I have to redo the first four.
And it could potentially
whatever
bug
issues.
your
Yeah.
fans because if
Yeah.
they're used to a specific look and then
Yeah,
all of a sudden
exactly.
midway you change it up, like, yo,
Right.
what the hell?
Yeah, exactly. So, so so it's like, yeah, so I know like where I need to pivot and where not to stay where I am, because it's like, it's like I need that that focus,
Right.
so that I know where to. So if I need to do anything, I know where it needs to go. Yeah,
Right.
but I'm still tired though.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And you have 21 days left.
Yeah,
of
21
the
days
campaign.
left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So
The link is in the chat and it's also in the summary, guys.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this
So
looks great, man.
yeah.
This looks it's a great campaign. I mean,
Thank
I know you plan all of this stuff so far ahead
Yeah.
of time. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I listen. I'm planning a campaign myself, and I know how. And Sam's done it. I know how
Yeah.
much work it
Yeah.
takes. What is the thing that you find the most fun about doing
Right.
this, and what is the thing that you hate the most about doing it?
Oh, well, fun. I mean, fun is relative. It's like, I mean,
Fun.
because it's such a process, and it's like, what it is that, especially with the campaigns, because, like I said, it's like I like to do things in advance if I can help it. So I already have the campaigns approved for issue 5 and for the trade paperback. So, but the thing is, though, I keep noodling with the campaigns. Like, I'm all like, whenever I see somebody or I hear something like information, oh, well, if you do this, this, and that, and then I'm going back into those campaigns and I'm like noodling with it. It's like, well, if I, let me just follow those instructions.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the learning process of the whole thing. I mean, honestly, it's like a lot of people, they kind of get crabby at the fact that it's like, oh, the information is constantly changing and whatnot. But I'm always on the lookout for that information. Yeah. So it's like whenever I hear something that goes, oh, well, if you do this, you might get X result. It's like, okay, let me at least try that on one campaign.
Right, yeah.
Because also not all information's equal. So there's some things that'll work for other people that won't work on my campaign.
Absolutely.
So but I have to kind of noodle with it to kind of get there. And honestly, the most fun about doing everything is being able to do this. Being able to do this. I did that.
That's your library.
This is being able to do that.
Yeah, that's
and
incredible.
Go, I did this.
Yeah.
I did this.
That's right.
And it sometimes and it grows. It grows, every time. And it's like, this makes it all worth it.
I know. Indies don't do that, right? Indies are not supposed to be able to do that. That's the whole
thing.
Right.
And the thing is, though, not a lot of people are able to do that.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's like there's a lot of people who they only put out an issue once a year. They're doing campaigns, they're raising all this money, but it's like, okay, where's the rest of where's the rest of the story? And that's the thing. So it's like being able to say, for people to ask, well, what have you done? And it's like, well, I've done this. I've done this. This is what I've done. Yeah. It's like, it's more than 1,000 pages, more than 1,000 pages. I think Tall Tales alone is over 1,000 pages.
I know. That's what when we started the show, I was saying the number of pages. You guys, it sounds like hyperbolic, but it's not. Right. It's real.
And the thing is, though, and it's like, it's like, okay, so there are professionals who can do they have 10,000s and 80,000s. It's like, okay, but this is literally a one man, or in my case, a one woman band.
Yeah, right.
It's like this is. I mean, like I said, most people never make it to their first issue. We've been doing this for 30 something years. Saying that out loud is horrifying, but it's like, but it's, and the road is littered with bodies of the people who don't make it past their issue 1.
Yes.
And here I am with this. Yeah. With this.
That's
and
incredible.
so in the end, it's like, it's like, I joke, complain about the amount of work that it takes, the amount of grinding that it requires. And and it's a grind, it's a hustle, it's non-stop. Yeah. But to be able to lift up this I don't know, 3 pounds worth of books, and say this is what I did. What did you do? I mean, it's like, and that's what makes it worth it.
That's all self-published, right?
That's all self-published.
It's all you guys, right?
Yeah,
you guys
it's all self-published. That's what makes it worth it.
Yeah.
Just seeing.
It's incredible. Yeah. It's incredible. It's funny because I look at your campaign and it says you've created 7, and I'm like, that's a lie. There's no way.
Well,
you've only
those are my solo campaigns. Like I said, that's not counting all the ones that I did for Tall Tales and the Oswald Chronicles too that I help out with JD.
Oh
so
man, this is incredible.
Yeah.
So the next one will be 5, and then after that is the trade.
Well, no, the trade is next.
The trade is next. Okay.
Because the trade collects issues 1 through 4.
Okay.
And then by the end of the year, I'm looking to release issue 5.
Okay.
Right. And in between that, there's going to be volume 4 of Tall Tales, Thieves' Quest. In the middle of all this, because it's poor Tall Tales. Sometimes it gets a little left behind because of all the, my big, because Eagle Raven takes so much work because it is in color. and so Tall Tales sometimes gets a little left behind, so I have to show it some love this year. So volume 4 to the trade paperback is on the schedule.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
And so, all right, so you have all of this stuff, and the campaign looks amazing. And everybody, again, if you're watching, make sure you pledge to the campaign. It's up for another 21 days, which
20, exactly 3 weeks.
3 weeks takes it out to April 13th at 4:05 p.m. But there's other things that you're working on, and I'd like to touch on that a little bit with you. Just the stuff that you're doing outside of comics. I know you've always had a channel. And you're almost at 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, almost at 1,000 subscribers. Yeah.
Yes, and so, but now you're also doing. You're in the Raging 2 network. So tell us a little bit about your podcasting.
So, it just happened to be, I guess, kind of serendipitous that if you had told me even like 3 years ago, you're going to be hosting a channel, hosting it's like, I was like, well, you're kidding me. It's like I can barely take photos of myself. How am I going to be on YouTube all the time? and here I am. It's like, I have a YouTube channel. I have, it's like, so I co-host with Nita Lanning on Raging 2. I kind of which unfortunately it was because of Meredith, it ended up that way. Meredith passed, and I kind of like, I can't even begin to say I could fill those shoes. Yes. I mean, she did so much for everybody and everything. So it's like, we're just kind of like taking her vision of what she wanted for a network and, making it blossom as best as we can. So Meredith planted the seeds, and we're now going to be eating a zucchini for days.
Now, you guys are doing a great job. You guys are doing a great job.
Let me just show the bump.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay.
Hi everyone, Daphne Lage here. Join Nita Lanning and me on the Ragin' to the Vlogs show, where we talk about everything, nothing, and all the bits in between. Looking for hour-long conversations about indie comics, social media marketing, and crowdfunding, with the occasional rant and story time? Head on over to the Ragin' 2 channel on YouTube, Mondays through Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern to join in the chat.
Hit the button.
Yeah. So now, because now we had changed the schedule slightly from, now we're just broadcast on Mondays and Fridays. Because now the channel we have so many other shows as well. We have Randy Zimmerman. He has 2 shows. He has his Zimcast, and he has Sunday Funnies, and then we have C. Michael Lanning. He has his shows on Tuesdays, and we have a Wednesday morning show. And then it's like I have my own live stream that I'll be doing tomorrow, so I can finishing up that piece back there. I'll be doing that tomorrow at 4:00, and it's like, really? Can we not add anything else more?
Well, you know what is good. At least you're using that to work on that project. So it's kind of, you're doing a
right. And you see, and that's the thing too, because it's like now we're in a age. It's like we didn't have to worry about that back in the day. Now it's like we're in an age where it's like either you have to show people your face. It's like, it's kind of like you have to be online, you have to be on social media, you have to be on YouTube. It's like it took me a while to understand the purpose of YouTube. And it's like, look, every time I'm on a live stream, or any of us, this is a commercial.
Right.
People are literally seeing you on TV. Yeah. So it's like, this is how they're relating to us. And the more they relate to us, the more that they're going to relate to our work.
Yep.
So it's like, this is like necessary. It's like, you cannot skip this. It's like, you literally cannot skip this step. If you are not on social media, you better be, I mean, I don't know how you're selling stuff nowadays, honestly. It's like, so it's like, so now it's like it's this whole media thing that we have to do, and I think I'm just like finally getting used to it.
No, you guys are doing great. I watched the show. You guys do it Monday through Friday. For those who don't know, they do
Monday and Friday,
right?
Yeah.
Monday and Friday,
So,
11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
that you guys are
Right.
on, and then
Yeah.
like you said, you guys have the other shows in between.
Right. Yeah. So it's
And so you build literally a network of
Yeah.
channel
Mhm.
of shows, which is
Yeah.
great.
So it's like, yeah, we're very comics focused,
Mhm.
and we talk about pretty much, it's like we talk about like everything having to do with indie comics, with promoting indie comics. We actually do interviews on our Monday shows. Now it's like Fridays is more like a free form discussion as to like, okay, well, I saw this online, let's discuss it because it's related to what we're doing. And that's pretty much it. And it's like, and the chat's pretty lively. So yeah,
That's good.
and that's pretty much, I mean, like I said, it's still kind of trippy to think about, oh, I have a show.
Right.
It's
Right.
like,
Well, yeah, you're a YouTuber. It's like you're a
yeah,
YouTuber.
exactly. Yeah.
And you guys have I think you have like a feature, or you're going to be doing 15 minutes of fame or something. I've
Well, yeah,
watched
that's,
you
yeah,
guys
it's like
are
we
doing
still have to
stuff.
kind of like bring that in. We do have a thing that we're eventually going to do where it's like we'll just grab anybody from the chat, and they have 15 minutes to talk about what they're doing, and then it's like we're gonna play Oscar music, the Oscar music on top of them, like they do at the Oscars when they talk too long. But we haven't gotten to that yet. We're still working out the kinks. Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, cool. I'll do that. Thank you. And yeah, and it's like, I'm doing also, it's like another show that I'm doing is this Saturday. I'm doing a month nightly stream, so I can work on my stuff that's really not appropriate for the day crowd. So
House of Bob, right?
Right, House of Bob, right, which I guess, to put it bluntly, is my furry porn collection. And so we're experimenting with doing an age restricted night live stream so that I can work on these pieces, because work's still got to get done.
That's right.
It's just that some work needs additional we're trying not to get ourselves kicked off of YouTube,
Right. I
because
got
of them.
you. I
So
got you.
we're gonna try it this weekend to see how that works out. So that's going to be Saturday on the 26th from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be in my pajamas. I'm gonna try to stay awake. It's gonna be, it's gonna be a thing.
That's good. That's good. I love it.
Yeah.
I love everything you guys are doing. Keep up the great work.
Thank
Daphne,
you.
you are
Thank
doing
you.
amazing work.
Thank you.
Guys, if you're watching, please pledge to the campaign. It is live right now, and it's in the show notes. It's also in the chat. For those who are watching, make sure you hit that button and pledge.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you the screen, Daphne.
Right.
Give us the elevator pitch. Why Eagle Raven?
Oh, sure. Okay. So hello, yes. So Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, is a story of a unicorn princess exiled into the mortal realm after she is betrayed by her elf prince husband to be. Dragons overtake her kingdom because she doesn't have enough problems, and how she's pretty much finagled into training to become a knight and hoping she can win a king's favor, may hopefully raise an army and go back to her kingdom, reclaim her kingdom, and save her people. If you enjoy like kind of like hero's journey type of character driven stories, this is the type of story that I hope I can entertain you with. It's a medieval fantasy soap opera. It's, like I said, it's very character heavy, character driven, emotionally driven. It's more about the emotional attachments that these characters make with each other, how they relate with each other. But like I said, it's very hero's journey. I've been reading a lot of Joseph Campbell lately, so of course I have to use that. So if you're into more soap opera type fantasy adventure that has furries and dragons and unicorns and all that fun stuff, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn. Oh, and before I keep forgetting, it is a mature audience's title, mostly for fantasy violence and adult situations, because like I said, it's a soap opera. So that's Eagle Raven for you in a nutshell.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Daphne, again.
No, thank you.
Yes. Daphne. So yeah, no, thank you, Daphne, for coming on and chatting with us about
always a
Eagle Raven.
pleasure. Always.
Yes. And listen, we'll have to do this again, obviously.
Yeah, obviously for the trade paperback.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good job,
Thank you,
everyone.
A. Wilson. A.
Yes. I'm glad everybody showed up. So, guys, thank you for coming on and showing up.
you.
And Daphne, like I said, we'll have to do it again, guys. Please, if you haven't pledged, pledge to the campaign right now. And you'll be on live on tomorrow. You're going to be at 4,
tomorrow.
right?
Yeah,
So
tomorrow
4
I'll be
tomorrow.
live 4:00 doing my drawing live stream,
And
and
then
then I'll be back on Friday at 11 a.m. with Nita. I have to. There's a couple of things I want to rant about, so we'll see.
Always fun. Always fun.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah. People seem to enjoy that, so
why not? Give the people what they want, Daphne.
Exactly.
Give them what they want.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks again, Daphne.
Yeah.
All right, Daphne. We'll talk to
Okay.
you.
All right. See you later.
So that was Daphne Lage. Again, the link is in the summary. It's also in the chat. And Daphne is also an official sponsor of Catch the Craze podcast. Check out Eagle Raven. It is fantastic. I mean, come on. What more can you ask for? She's a one-woman team. She's killing it. She's at 105 backers based on this trend. That's in the first week. Imagine what she does in the next 3 weeks. Crazy.
Yeah.
So go get yourself a copy of Eagle Raven. Again, link is in the summary. If you like this episode, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to Catch the Craze podcast, you can do to us. Please subscribe, because when we grow, the indie community grows. And so for more eyes on our show, that's more eyes on our guests. And we appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to sign up for Wonderduck. The link is also in the summary. That kicks off May 4th. And for all of you Designated on My Toilet supporters, the books are on their way to me. They're expected to be here Saturday, so hopefully I'll start packing everything up. The only ones that are the sketch covers, I'll be working on Sunday and Monday to try to get those out fast as well to you guys as well. With that said, I am Sam the Crazy Man Vera.
George the Dreamer Medina.
We appreciate every single one of you. We out. Oh.
No.
I forgot my.
Not out.
I forgot my. It's just easy. It's not.
Crazy. Acquiesce.
No, I was talking about my friend Acquiesce.
Say my name. Say my name.
Right?
This is what you were thinking? Oh my.
He described me. He said, "I'm the."
What? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze. Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.